a number of boards of a number of companies in Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Ethel Cofie. I hope that as she shares with us the secret of her success, we can learn from her experiences.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to make sure I get the salutation right. So, all protocols observed, yes. The chairman, the pro-vice chancellor, the provost for School of Humanities, and to all the graduating students, thank you for inviting me. It's unnerving and also exciting. You're graduating from West Africa's best university, so okay, so I'm going to try and have a conversation versus a speech, because I suppose it's easier for me that way, and maybe it's easier for you too that way. What do you think? Okay, great. So, I have wondered what I could say to you. You have your MBAs, your PhDs, your MPhil. I'm wondering what I could possibly say that would help inspire you or even spark something in you in going forward into this new phase of your lives and your career. And I just figured out I'm just going to tell my story. So I have 3 stories from my life to tell you. And I hope that in these stories there are lessons. In these stories, am I okay? Oh, okay, so they can see me. Sorry. I'm hoping that these 3 stories will help light your path or spark something in you. So here goes. So again, my name is Ethel Cofie. I am CEO of EDEL Technology Consulting, and I'm founder of Women in Tech Africa. EDEL Technology Consulting is a company in Ghana and now in the UK. And Women in Tech Africa is Africa's largest women in tech group. We are spread across 30 African countries. And we have physical chapters in Nairobi, Accra, and in London for the diaspora. And hopefully, by the early part of next year, we'll be in Johannesburg and in Lagos. It's been an interesting journey. So in the last maybe 2 years, a lot of interesting things have happened to me. So I was on the Young African Leaders Initiative, which was started by President Obama. So I got to meet President Obama, and I got to hug Michelle Obama. So there's a very interesting picture of me online where I am hugging Michelle, and I'm so excited. It's a very interesting picture. I'm so excited, and I was crying because in that moment, I think that for everything that I've had to work for and everything that I've had to deal with, in that moment, it all made sense. And I hope that as you go in your careers, you will have that moment where everything that you have been through in getting your PhD, your master's, is worth it. So I spoke at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, spoke alongside the US Vice President Joe Biden. And a lot of things have happened, but my story was not always nice and glamorous. The first story, so I'm a Wesley Girls rejectee. I have to go back to that story. I always want to tell that story. did not make the grade. And I'm going to date myself when I say this. When I wrote my BEC exam, so Wesley Girls High School wouldn't take me. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, if I ever have the chance, I want Wesley Girls High School, and I hope people from Wesley Girls High School are here, to wish I was an alumni. And that has been one of the things that have driven me. I said, I want them to wish, years from now, wish that they had taken me in. Anyway, so Infantiman Girls High School took me in. Are there any Infantiman girls in here? Yes. Went through that, finished, did a degree in computer science. And then fell in love, I suppose, with the computer. My dad bought me my first computer at 18, 19. And at that time we didn't even have internet, but I liked the idea that I could create something. I could, turn on the computer and I could build software and it would do something interesting. In fact, I think when I was going to do my master's, my essay was the computer is dumb, I am smart, and I can make it do what I want, which is the first line of, I suppose this is why they let me in. Hold on, let me find my space now. So after my degree, I went on to do a master's in distributor systems in the UK. I was the only female that did my specialization, and it was always interesting for me because as I got higher in sort of the computer science and the sciences, I realized that I was the only woman in the room, or I was one of the only women in the room. And you'll see later what I've done with sort of those ideas. I left university. After my master's, I was headhunted, so I didn't come back to Ghana. I was headhunted right out of my master's degree. I ended up doing a couple of things. So I did a number of those. I was a developer, I built systems. But my first job was an interesting, when they made the offer, because I was headhunted out when they made the offer, I was so excited, I was so happy. I called my dad and I just took the job offer. I don't know, I went the first day, I realized that you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Because I was happy I took the offer, that the other people they had taken all had said, if you came to find me in university, I must be worth more than what you're giving me. And I didn't think that way. I thought, actually, I didn't have to come and look for a job. You came to look for me. I am blessed. I'll take it. And so my first lesson in you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. That when you believe in who you are and you believe in what you are capable of, there is a confidence that comes with walking into a room. Whether it is that some of you go into academia, into entrepreneurship, or into business, that there is a confidence that comes with believing in who you are and makes you walk into a room. That's not arrogance. And in Ghana, we have to be careful because arrogance is very frowned upon in Ghana. There is just a belief in yourself that I am worth more, and I demand more. I demand more of myself, and I demand more of the people around me. Mm-hmm. So that's my first lesson. So after a number of years in the UK, I decided, I didn't even tell my parents, I decided I was going to come home. I was going to come home and I was going to start a software business. So I left my very nice lucrative job, my very nice apartment in London, my very nice lifestyle. I shipped my things before I told my parents I was going to come, because I know if I resigned my job and then I shipped my things before I told my parents, because I know with your typical African parents, why are you coming home? What do you want to come and do here? You know, stay, you have a good life. And they weren't really happy with me, but I came anyway. And I came and I brought all my savings and I was going to start EDEL Technology Consulting. And guess what happened? I failed. I failed to grow a business. I failed to even get customers. It just didn't work. I couldn't get customers. And you have to remember, I've taken all my savings, and I began to run out of my savings to a point where actually, if anybody has felt it, where you look in your account and it's zero. It's a very interesting feeling, because, and then they say to you, because you're in Ghana, they say to you, so you left your nice job with your MSc, and then you just come to sit here, and look. And in that moment, it's a very interesting feeling, because you have a conviction and a passion. I was going to come back to Ghana. I wanted to do something in Ghana, and a lot of amazing projects in the years in between. So I worked with the Gates Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the project in northern Ghana, which was targeted, which was mobile technology for health, which was targeted towards illiterate mothers and pregnant mothers, ways to be able to provide them information and work with the National Health Service to be able to provide them health information. Now there are actually a lot, I think we were the pioneers at the time, providing information, helping mothers. So it's a really successful project that ended up getting rolled out to Tanzania, India, and one other country. And this is, of all the projects that I've done, I think this is the one that I'm most excited about, because it was a project where I could see clearly that we were saving lives and we were touching lives. It wasn't a commercial system, it wasn't HR, it wasn't a business system, that we were building something that was touching lives. But it also taught me something. It taught me how to build technology for people that didn't understand technology. You have to understand, a lot of my working life was in the UK, where people understood technology. But if I was going to come to work in Ghana, I needed to understand what it meant to build technology for people who don't understand technology. Then after that I went to Nigeria. I worked with the Ford Foundation, and I think it's been mentioned, I also went to Sierra Leone. And then I finally ended up with my last proper corporate job was at Vodafone Ghana. I worked in commercial solutions. I was the bridge between the business and the technical team, because I understood the business side, but I also understood the technical side. And if anybody has taken, one of the biggest problems in IT is that there's no bridge between the business and the technical. Business people are speaking and the technical people are speaking, and nobody understands each other. And essentially, my job was to be an interpreter. While I was doing that, I realized that the jobs that I had, and I had a number of jobs in between, so the jobs I had in between had taught me a number of skills. One of them had taught me how to sell myself, how to sell an idea, how to sell a product. The Gates Foundation had taught me how to build technology for people that didn't understand technology. Sierra Leone had taught me how to work with people that are, I've got to be careful the way I say this. So Ghana is very laid back, and Sierra Leone is more laid back than Ghana. So if you're an ambitious, pushy person and you want to make things happen, how do you work with people that say, oh, it's okay, we'll do it tomorrow, it's all right, don't relax, it's not, and you'll face a lot of this, I suppose, so relax, it's not, and there were lessons there on how you work with those people to get things done. And so while I was working at Vodafone, and I know somebody who is here, who was with me at the same time as at Vodafone, I started to take those lessons and started beginning to look for clients, right? So I would get one client, I would work on weekends, because remember I have been bent, right? I used all my savings, I was broke, I had to get a job. And if you are from Ghana, you know how it goes. Everybody will, you know, they always refer you to that lesson and say, aha, we told you, don't come, you came. And I began to sort of grow my client base. And so when I was ready to leave Vodafone, I had a number of recurring clients and I had a business. I actually had a business that was running. So when I made the jump the second time, and people said, you don't listen, eh? You don't listen, we talk, you don't listen. I started EDEL Technology Consulting version 2, and I'm glad to report that EDEL Technology Consulting version 2 has grown to the point where we have clients not only in Ghana, but we have clients in the UK. Story number 2. I want to talk about how women in tech started and why women in tech started. As I mentioned earlier, Women in Tech Africa it started as Women in Tech Ghana because I really wanted to I understood the difficulties of being a woman in the industry, and when you walk into the room, when people assume you're not competent because of your gender, was something that I faced quite a lot. Because people say, are you the software developer? You know, you get that, and people are thinking, no, we don't think you might be competent. So I started the group to bring women together, 1, to network, 2, to share opportunities, because I've come to understand that there's a large number of jobs that are not advertised. And today, a lot of people reach out to me and say, can you recommend 2 or 3 women? And they would interview them and they would give them jobs. And those jobs would never be advertised. And I realized that there was something going on there. And how could I help bring women together, share the opportunities, but also teach each other the skills we needed to go. So we started with 70 women in Ghana. We would do monthly events. We were very lucky. At the time, I really didn't know anyone and didn't really have a lot of money to start with. But I reached out, so I asked myself, okay, how could I do? So I know people, so I called them and I said, can you invite other people to come to the event? And then I knew somebody who knew the Google country manager, Ethel Cofie, and I asked, can you please invite her to come? And then I knew somebody who knew the Microsoft country manager, and I reached out to them and I said, please, can you invite her to come? And our very first event was an amazing event because we had the Google country manager for Ghana, the Microsoft country manager for Ghana, 70 women in the room, and it was amazing, it was inspiring, we were on fire. And as we started, doing events, I went off to the Young African Leaders Initiative with President Barack Obama, and as part of it, there was 6 weeks at Yale University, an executive leadership course, and with 25 other Africans. And in that room, I have hope for Africa. There's 25 people that are doing amazing things. And when I told them about what I was doing about women in tech Ghana, they said, oh, I have women in my country who are in the tech industry. I can connect you. And this one said I can connect you. So we did. So based on just people connecting, I said, oh, let's do the first online Pan-African initiative. Based on that event, CNN and BBC ended up picking us up. And then over time, and it creeped up on me and I didn't realize, over time, we became a multinational organization in 30 countries. It wasn't planned. It wasn't, if I tell you we had a strategy, I'm lying to you. It wasn't planned, but I used the opportunities that I had at that time to be able to find my next steps. So I suppose I'm going to round off now. I tell 3 stories, 2 is fine. The lessons I have learned in my journey to this point is to start anyway. Because if you start, you are ahead of somebody who is sitting down, who hasn't done anything. Create something. Right? It's small. I didn't know, anyway, when Women in Tech, I didn't really know a lot of people. I just called the people I knew and I asked them to call the people they knew. Start something. Whatever it is that you care about, whatever it is that you are passionate about. If you have a job, that's fine, but start. Even if it's within your organization, something that you believe that needs to be changed, or if you want to be an entrepreneur, something that you want to build. A lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to will say, oh, we don't have money, but you know someone, or you have knowledge. Can you start something? Just one step puts you ahead of the curve. Take advantage of your opportunities. I find it very interesting that one of the things we do with Women in Tech Africa is to find a lot of opportunities and share it with women. And sometimes people say, connect me to this person or leave their job. And I find that people don't think they are good enough. And I find this particularly in West Africa. People don't think they are good enough. So they don't pursue the opportunities. There is a job, you have 50–60% of the skills, and you say, oh, I won't get it, so I won't apply. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Because to get on the Yali initiative, I was asked to apply, I said, oh, I won't get it. The kind of people that go to Barack Obama Young African Leaders Initiative, I don't think I'm there. And they pushed and pushed and pushed. My husband pushed and pushed and pushed, and I said, oh, I don't think I'll get it. I'm not going to apply. And he got annoyed. And so, you know, those of you are married, sometimes you want peace, so I applied. And I got in. And some days I'm surprised because every time I meet other Yali fellows, I always think they are doing amazing things. I never thought I would be part of a group of Yalis that are doing amazing things. So don't think, I have learned my lesson. Don't think that you don't have what it takes. You try, it doesn't work out, you haven't lost anything. If it does, amazing things can happen. So I suppose it's not very coordinated, but I suppose those are the things that I wanted to share. And I wish you all the best, and I hope to meet you in years to come.
Thank you very much, Ethel. That was fascinating. I mean, if we had time, I would have let her go on. But we have a 2-hour slot to get out of here. Thank you so much. I am sure each of you has picked up something that they will use. So we are grateful for sharing your experiences with us. So we are at that point why you are here. It's time for the award of degrees. So